You know, it's time to address the elephant in the room. And no, I'm not talking about me, but right? You know, all jokes aside, I think most people were a little bit disappointed with the Crackdown 3 reviews and things like that. I get it. You know, here's the thing. I think the future looks incredibly bright for quite a bit of the studios that Microsoft have bought. Okay? What I mean by that is, obviously, Playground Games is going to continue to deliver with the Horizon series and Fable, and rumor has they maybe even be starting a new IP as well. The Initiative, Quadruple A, they're going to do amazingly well. For me personally, I question the additions of In Exile Entertainment as well as the We Happy Few developer, Compulsion Games. I don't really feel like those are huge fits with doing quality games. The State of Decay 2 developers, I also feel like these people do more middleware stuff, and we're not going to get anything substantially large from them. So I do feel like Ninja Theory is going to deliver, and I feel like Halo's going to rebound, and I feel like there's going to be great games coming. With that being said, this whole idea that Microsoft has Game Pass, and honestly, people go, well, that's just, they're using that as a catch-all for mediocre games. It's really hard to argue that point, to be 100% honest with you guys at this point. I'm an Xbox fan. I love Xbox. I think Xbox is great. The problem is, when you say that Game Pass is just there to catch their low-rated games, how can anybody really deny that? You can bring up Forza Horizon 4, which, that's fine. I think Forza Horizon 4 is a great game. I reviewed it very well. The problem is, Forza Horizon 4 was going to be great no matter if Game Pass was there or not, because they've all been great. Now, the other games, which I love Sea of Thieves, again, people like to throw this at me because I said it was my multiplayer the game of the year. Still is. I enjoyed it. I think it's fun. But I also realize it's incredibly niche, and I'm probably in a small category that actually thinks that way, right? As far as, like, you know, somebody on a PlayStation side might think, you know, something else. Like, I thought Detroit had a better story than God of War. Like, maybe that's a niche thought to have. I don't know. So for me personally, that's it. But when you look purely at the Metascore, and I realize Metascore isn't the be-all, end-all, but wouldn't, as Xbox fans, you guys like to have something that's universally appraised and universally acclaimed, critically acclaimed by not only reviewers but gamers? Right? I mean, how can anybody talk bad about that? Aren't you tired of people just dogging us all the time about our mediocre games? Crackdown 3 scores worse than State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves. Like, how is that even possible? You know, as a fan, you just have to wonder, because not only does this bode badly for Crackdown 3 longevity, but it also bodes badly for a possible sequel. If they would have just canceled this game altogether, maybe had a new developer built from the ground up to work on this game, we would have got a really good game that we deserved. Instead, we got this game, which I'm sure it's going to be fun. I'm going to play it. I'm sure it's going to be #fun. People are going to be pissed off that I keep saying this. You know, obviously it's not anything amazing. So, you know, we just have to look at the facts that as of right now, there is no threat from Game Pass on any of the other studios, right? And when I say that is, when you have games that are scoring in the 90s in Meta, right, and universal acclaim and winning all these awards, and they look as polished as, like, The Last of Us 2, and even though I'm not a Death Stranding fan or a Last of Us fan, those games looked incredibly polished, and they're going to be polished, and Ghost of Tsushima is going to be polished. And, you know, when you look back at the Uncharted 4s and the Horizon Zero Dawns and, you know, these Detroits and God of Wars, and these games are polished games, and that's why they sell them for $60 a piece. When you look at the games Microsoft's been selling lately, that's probably why it can look like that on the outside, that these games maybe belong in a thing like Game Pass, that they're lackluster, right? And they're scoring poorly. So Microsoft has nobody to blame but themselves for this, and it is a bit disheartening. But I would love your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Maybe let me know in the comments below. Are you guys disappointed? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.